In this video, I'll be going over some stuff about my channel, mainly stats and technical stuff of behind the scenes of my YouTube channel. Not a lot of discussion about World of Warcraft at all, so just a forewarning. First off, for this channel, I had one of my editors leave at the beginning of the year, that way they could focus on their own channel, and he's actually been doing very well for himself. You guys might know him as Captain Grimm, probably one of the fastest growing newcomers in the WoW scene. Then sometime in June or July, I got the Flying Buttress to join, and I basically only have 2 people worked on the World of Warcraft channel as editors, and a third one who has made occasional videos here and there. And with my editors, I managed to make a total of 51 videos in the year of 2020, which is an average of about 1 video a week. On my YuGiOh channel, however, I managed to make a total of 100 videos exactly in 2020, which is an average of about 2 per week. And my YuGiOh channel has one editor that works on it full-time and another editor who makes videos for it occasionally, who also is the one who occasionally makes World of Warcraft videos as well. So in total, I have about 4 editors working, which is the only reason I'm able to run 2 channels full-time. Now, the YuGiOh channel managed to get a total of around 33 million views for the year, which is an average of 2,700,000 views a month. For a little context on all of those numbers, views are much more important than subscribers, and are the metric anyone cares about when it comes to ad rates or whether or not a product will even want to appear in one of your videos for a sponsorship. Sponsors don't really care about your sub number, and basically the number you want to beat is around 500,000 views a month. That's what you need in order to make around minimum wage, give or take. So the YuGiOh channel did very well. The World of Warcraft channel got 21 million views for the year, which averages to around 1,700,000 per month, about a full million less views per month than the YuGiOh channel on average. So on surface level, it seems as if the YuGiOh channel is doing much better than the World of Warcraft one, and that's kind of true to an extent. Although there were double the amount of videos released on the YuGiOh channel. So if we break down the numbers to views versus how many videos were uploaded, the YuGiOh channel averages around 330,000 views per video. But the World of Warcraft channel comes to an average of around 400,000 views per video. Now, this isn't exact math, in fact it's incredibly inaccurate to say each video gets around that many views, but this does have an interesting trend to it, where the average World of Warcraft video I produce has the potential to just get more views on average. Although there's a lot of outliers and exceptions to this, but basically, both channels are doing well considering the amount they upload. Let's go into how the videos are actually made. For YuGiOh, it's very simple. All I do is have a moving background with a card on top, and then I have text and other cards pop in wherever appropriate, and that's about it. Now, there's a lot of text and other cards that pop up, so it's an incredibly time-consuming job to edit, which is why I hire editors to do it for me. But the process itself is pretty simple and straightforward. I just buy licenses to all the backgrounds I use, as well as pay for the royalty-free music, and of course, just show cards from the game. It could not be more simple, but it is very time-consuming nonetheless, to the point where it would be impossible for me to run that channel without a lot of help. Then, for the World of Warcraft channel, it's completely different. Whenever you're talking about a topic, generally, you need footage from the game itself. And generally, you can't just go in and get the footage of whatever it is you're talking about. Like, for example, if I wanted to talk about how Gul'dan used the magical stone surrounding Silvermoon in order to convert his ogres into 2-headed ogres, I can't just go in-game and get footage of that because it doesn't exist. This happened during the Second War, and there's almost no footage in-game of what happened during the Second War. And Warcraft 2 game looks like this. So, the best I could do is go to Silvermoon, get a shot of the stone used for the ritual, then go into WoW Model Viewer and get a shot of Gul'dan and maybe some ogres, and then manually edit some animations of them transforming them or something. All of this is just way more time consuming, and if you're trying to set this up for an editor, then you have to make a whole bunch of assumptions about what the editor is capable of doing. Like if they're able to get the footage, if they have a working version of WoW Model Viewer, know how to properly do green screen removals, and wants to spend the time and effort to do all that. Or another one, which is just more in-game footage, say I wanted to get footage of a druid using the spell Symbiosis. It's a spell that existed only in Mists of Pandaria. There is no way to actually get footage of the ability since it doesn't exist anymore. And then you have to think of creative ways in order to show it on screen, which I have done many times in the past with a whole bunch of different ways. Or if you want to get footage of an ending of some long quest chain from a faction that you don't play and is gated behind a rep grind, like the Purge of Dalaran footage, You have to level up a character and go in and do all the quests to get that footage, grind out the rep, and the footage might not even look that good. And that's all only for one shot. You might need to do that 10 other times for other pieces of footage, in addition to 20 other miscellaneous things. It's very easy to spend the whole day just getting footage of stuff and not actually getting half of what you need. I have about 20 terabytes of footage just saved up of a whole bunch of various different things in game, and even with that, I still need to go and get footage regularly for new videos that I can send off to my editors. Now, none of this really exists for the YuGiOh channel. If I want to talk about an old card, I can just show it on screen. If I want to talk about interactions it had with other cards, I can just show those other cards on screen. Making a video about a card game is just so much easier than making videos about a video game where the footage is actually difficult to get sometimes. And recreating the footage is time consuming. This animation, where I show the space limitations of the Alakir fight, took 1 hour of work on average. And it's for less than 30 seconds of footage in a 20-minute video. Which doesn't sound like a lot of time, on surface level. Making 4 animations like these for my video on bosses that took the longest to kill added an extra 4 hours to the video's editing. These are just hurdles that don't exist with YuGiOh channel videos, which is why I'm able to make 2 times as many of those videos. And then there's the whole point of the editors themselves. Of the 2 editors I have working on the World of Warcraft channel, neither of them are in a position to work on the channel regularly. At best, I can maybe get 1 video from each of them a month. So, even if I did find a more efficient way to send off stuff to editors, I currently just don't have enough where I'd be able to produce 2 videos a week like on the YuGiOh channel, which is what I kind of want to do. And it's incredibly hard to do that in the first place. I limit myself to only working 5 days a week. And I am chronically very lazy, and I just take breaks all the time. And I started up a new channel in July about D&D top 10 videos done the same way as my YuGiOh top 10s. So I'm already spread pretty thin as is. And it can easily take me a full day to just set up 1 World of Warcraft video for my editors, not even doing the whole video myself. So there are some problems I need to solve in the coming year. I have some ideas though. Probably the easiest thing for me to do is just go back to making World of Warcraft videos myself. I spent the last year kind of experimenting to see how well I can get things done if I only relied on my editors for videos to be made, and basically just only setting up videos for them to make, and it didn't work out super well. I released a lot less videos than when I just did everything myself, and I ended up having to make a whole bunch of videos by myself anyway. I'd say probably half of the videos in the WoW channel from the past year were edited by myself from start to finish. Whereas on the YuGiOh channel, I probably only edit about 10% of the 100 videos that I produced, with the vast majority of them easily being done by my editors alone. So if I just take some time to budget putting myself on the schedule for making videos, that should increase the amount I can actually make. For the launch of Shadowlands, I managed to write 10 scripts for World of Warcraft videos in about 3 days, when I usually manage about 4 scripts in 7 days, and I fully edited 6 of those 7 videos I released during that launch week myself. And all of that in about the span of a week and a half. So if I'm just better about planning my time, I can actually pull it off. There's also the option to just hire another editor, but it's really hard to set up World of Warcraft videos for them unless they are able to get all the footage themselves. So I'm just going to hold off on that option for a bit, which leads into the next topic of discussion: how well the individual series are doing. On my YuGiOh channel, I basically only have 3 series that I do regularly. One of them is the top 10 series, which does very well. Another one is talking about the history of the game, which also does very well. And the last one is just talking about custom cards, which does pretty mediocre, but is easy to make, so I haven't cut that off the rotation yet. For the World of Warcraft channel, I basically only have the top 10 videos that do well, and only if it's on a good topic. Outside of that, I've put the Villains Corner series on hold because the artist who does the drawing for that got a new job and is too busy to work on too many future episodes. And the series never actually did that well for how much time and effort went into creating it. I'd like to do more Villains Corner videos, but it's always lost money ever since I started making it, with the best benefit it has of increasing the branding of the channel. If I only make top 10 videos, then that makes the channel itself look bad. Top 10 videos get views, but it's not good for a channel's branding. It's tough for me, for example, to get brand deals or to sell the channel to other websites if I want to work with them, or other YouTubers for collaborations, because nobody wants to work with the top 10 guy because it's seen as lazy and clickbaity. regardless of what the content is, because most top 10 channels are lazy and clickbaity, so it's a deserved reputation. Now, I think mine are pretty decent quality for what they are, so I'm not putting my videos down or anything. This is just the public perception that you have to accept when your most popular series is inherently clickbaity. My second most popular series is one-off videos. I occasionally make videos about things that can only be made a single time, and half the time they perform well. There's the BFA review, the Alliance bad video, Arthas did nothing wrong, and how I made 5 million gold in BFA. Those 4 videos were all released in the last year, and all of them did very well. But there's also YuGiOh was the greatest war chief of all time, a review of dailies in WoW, and the pet battle tier list video, which all performed rather poorly. So what I can draw from those conclusions is that occasionally I can make a video that's not part of a series, and it will do well if it's on a good topic. And sometimes it doesn't do well if it's not on a good topic. Kinda like top 10 videos, although with top 10 videos, even the poor topics generally perform okay. Then one of my other long stays on the channel, the history of WoW videos. I used to make a lot more of them, where I would cover the history of very specific skills and abilities from classes. I have since expanded what I cover the history of over the years, and generally, the ones that go over broad topics just perform way better than specific skills. There's the history of hard modes, which performed okay. The history of rare bounce, which also just performed okay. And then 2 specific ability videos, the history of void tendrils and shadow of death, which both performed terribly. There's not really too many videos to draw a reasonable conclusion from, but even with this small sample size from just the past year, it's safe to say that specific ability history videos do not perform well, and I need to find a way to include those into larger videos or just stop doing them altogether. In the past year, I also launched a new series called The Unknown Side of WoW, which has quickly shot up to be my 3rd best performing series, right after my one-off videos about random things. And since I can't consistently make one-off videos about random things, it is really good that I have a series that I can make consistently, and is performing well enough. It's still not performing as well as top 10s on average, but for a new series, I'm very enthusiastic about its potential. The series itself was just a crapshoot of random things I wanted to make videos about in the past. I wanted to make a series where I just went over random Easter eggs. I wanted to make a series where I just explored random things in the world, and I also wanted to make a series where I just went over random no-main NPCs that have interesting lore about themselves. But none of those are long enough to make videos about specifically, and they don't really relate to each other in any way. So I brainstormed during one of my streams, where I basically just asked chat what I should call a series with those 3 things combined together, and then I got the name of The Unknown Side of WoW, which was an incredibly neat name, and I was hesitant at first because the name also kind of means nothing. But so far, the videos have been performing pretty well. One of my biggest things with the videos is finding a way to market them correctly. The most important thing about your videos is, of course, the title and thumbnails. It's what get people to actually want to watch the video. And the quality of the video is what keeps people around to watch more of them. I personally like the compilation style videos of The Unknown Side of WoW, but it's a real hard sell on the marketing front, and I'm still not sure how to title and thumbnail the videos correctly. So I'm gonna keep experimenting with that one. I also experimented a lot with the thumbnail style I use over the past year, and I've come to the conclusion that it doesn't really matter. As long as it has a good topic and the thumbnail has some effort put into it, the video will do well. Another thing I tried with 2020 was to just make more current event videos. Usually, I've always ignored whatever was the new hotness, unless I had a good video that was related to it in some way. When Legion and BFA were announced and coming out, I rarely made any videos talking about the new expansion or new features. I definitely did do a couple, but it was never a focus. This time around, I got into the Shadowlands alpha pretty early, and I was able to get one of my editors into the alpha as well, and I thought it was a good time to try making videos about Shadowlands stuff. And I must say, that did not work out well. The experiment basically resulted in one video that did better than average, and all the other ones that performed below average, which means I probably won't do it again in the future and just stick to timeless, evergreen videos like I've always created, since about 60% of my views come from legacy views anyway. And during the end of the year, I created a video about a tier list of World of Warcraft pet type abilities, which isn't performing super well as is making this review. But seeing as it's about pet battles, I kind of have to take those results with a grain of salt. Generally, there is a portion of the World of Warcraft player base who likes pet battles, and it's a pretty small portion. And there's also a portion of World of Warcraft community who hates pet battles and will never watch anything about them. So anything pet related is kind of up in the air about whether it will do well or not, as you kind of are playing against a stacked deck already. But I think the idea behind tier lists has potential, and I'll probably experiment with that more in 2021. Which leads into plans for the new year. I want to release 2 videos a week. I want to actually stick to a style of thumbnail so that my videos are more recognizable at a glance in the subscription box. I want to make more long-form videos where I heavily research a topic, since those generally do pretty well, if I pick a good enough topic anyway, but I also cannot stop uploading in order to work on a big video like that, which is what's rough about the YouTube algorithm. I'd love it if I could just make 1 video a month towards an hour-long video and deep dive into one topic. Although, the way to do YouTube correctly is to upload regularly and not wait for 1 video a month. And I like to make the unknown side of WoW a regular thing, since it seems to be the only new topic I introduce that seems to do well. And also, the top 10s will continue like normal. I have an unlimited amount of ideas for those and I like making them, and they do well. So that's kind of the bread and butter of the channel. Also, I kind of just made this video for fun. I don't really care how well it does. So if you made it to the end of this video, you're probably a fellow YouTuber who likes to hear about YouTuber stats, or had nothing better to do. In which case, check out my D&D channel. It's great, and it really needs more subs. I have a link at the end of the video right now. Go watch all the videos twice there, please and thank you.